Welcome back to Living 808. Time for Straight Talk with Risa and Edwina. Thanksgiving is pow. Hopefully Black Friday didn't break the bank, but never too late to talk about being reasonable during Christmas. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
What does that mean, being reasonable during Christmas?
Well, Christmas has become a huge opportunity for commercialism.
Okay.
We see the sales and kind of the decorations coming out earlier and earlier during the year, Halloween, or even before that, Christmas in July. And so with that comes the feeling of trying to keep up with the Joneses, if you will, and you know, buy everything, get everything, acquire things. The idea of materialism comes up, and this is problematic with children, particularly because it focuses on more of that materialism and gaining things as opposed to the values of the season, teaching kind of those kinds of things. And so these things can be detrimental for children if we focus more on that aspect as opposed to teaching them about the values.
Yeah, Christmas means so much more than just giving gifts and getting gifts, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then how do you get them away from commercialism and materialism? How do you do that?
You know, you really want to be very, very intentful in making sure that you talk with your children and family about traditions and values and things that are really important. And that could include also things like religion and spirituality as well, too. And it's a good thing as well, too, when you're teaching them to also be really proactive and maybe even doing things like helping other family members, as well as also maybe giving back to the community during this time. Another idea and tip could be for parents is to also limit the amount of presents you also buy for your children as well too, and really maybe taking some of those funds and utilizing it to do other good things like travel, helping others, things like that.
Okay, I like that. But gifts are always nice. So what are some of the other things that can be exchanged as a gift?
Well, I think one of the main focuses during the season is really the gift of time. And that sounds perhaps a little archaic, but the gift of time can include teaching children to invest in other people. For example, cutting an elderly neighbor's grass, making or baking things that you can give away to neighbors or family or friends, discussing the blessings that have come up through the year, those kinds of things, spending time together, watching Christmas movies or just being in each other's presence, those kinds of things, really trying to help children develop an attitude of gratitude, if you will, and being thankful for what they have gotten through the year. Playing board games is another idea, and really trying to focus conversation on something else besides acquiring things and what they would like for Christmas.
It's so funny because my kids, when they were real little, I would get a gift certificate for a back rub or for a washing the dishes night or something.
Right.
And I think those are great, but what if the entire family doesn't really actually buy into some of those changes?
I think you really want to make sure that you emphasize the value and importance of this to your children and to the family as well too. And so that will take a lot of insistence and persistence as well too when you communicate this and why it's so important. And so as you're doing that, you know, usually then you can slowly begin to have the family buy in with you as well too. And maybe you can start doing little changes at a time. So that would be something that could help.
But you're getting some resistance to those changes. What do you do then?
I think, you know, really talking about why you're doing it, giving kind of a reason for that, and then making sure that your behaviors align with what you're talking about, sharing that, even enlisting other family members and friends to join in on what you're doing so that there is more of a communal effort. And then if there's stress that comes from that, really just talking to maybe a professional like us, you could call the center, 375-7712. Or visit us online at www.hookollc.com.
I appreciate you guys. Or you could go on KHON2.com, go to the Living 808 tab, and then look at a previous segment that we did on disciplining your child.
Perfect. Thanks, John.
Thank you very much.
And happy holidays.
Thank you.
Much more when we